This is Land of Havilah, Joshua 22. According to the last chapter, Yahweh has given Israel rest all around. Not a man of their enemies is standing before them, and Yahweh has delivered all their enemies into their hand. But we shouldn't be mistaken. This doesn't mean that Israel has driven out all the inhabitants. There are definitely still cities and regions controlled by Avim, Philistines, Geshurites, Maacathites, Jebusites, and Canaanites. But the point is that none of them are looking for a fight, Joshua 13:3, 13:13, 16:10, and 17:12. The inhabitants have seen enough of what Israel can do, so they're being careful to stay to themselves. For now the land has rest from war, Joshua 11:23. This is all according to Yahweh's plan as he told it to Moses. Yahweh said he wouldn't drive out the inhabitants all at once, but rather little by little until the population of the Israelites increases enough to inhabit the entire land, Exodus 23:30. However, all of this is completely contingent on whether Israel stays true to Yahweh, Leviticus 26:17, and Deuteronomy 30:16 through 18. Since the fighting is over for now, it's homegoing time for all the men of war, including the Reubenites, Gadites, and Manassites who have their land on the other side of the river. Verse 1. Then Joshua called the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, and said to them, You have kept all that Moses, the servant of Yahweh, commanded you, and have listened to my voice in all that I commanded you. You have not left your brothers these many days to this day, but have performed the duty of the commandment of Yahweh your God. Now Yahweh your God has given rest to your brothers as he spoke to them. Therefore now return and go to your tents, to the land of your possession, which Moses the servant of Yahweh gave you beyond the Jordan. Only take diligent heed to do the commandment and the law which Moses the servant of Yahweh commanded you, to love Yahweh your God, to walk in all his ways, to keep his commandments, to hold fast to him, and to serve him with all your heart and all your soul. So Joshua blessed them and sent them away, and they went to their tents. Comment: Joshua is saying to the warriors from the east, It's taken a long time, but you've done your job as Moses commanded you. You came over here to help your brother Israelites conquer the land, and you stuck it through to the end. God bless you for being true and faithful to your duty and to your word. Now I release you to go home to your wives and families on the other side of the river, but don't forget about Yahweh. Be careful to cling to him wholeheartedly. We don't know how long it took to fight Joshua's wars on the west side of the Jordan, but if we reconstruct the passage of time from a number of verses, it was a minimum of 5 years. Joshua 14:7, 14:10, Numbers 20 verse 1, Numbers 14:24, and Deuteronomy 1:3 and 2:14. Verse 7. Now to the one-half tribe of Manasseh Moses had given inheritance in Bashan, but Joshua gave to the other half among their brothers beyond the Jordan westward. Comment: in other words, the tribe of Manasseh has land on both sides of the river. Still verse 7. Moreover, when Joshua sent them away to their tents, he blessed them and spoke to them, saying, Return with much wealth to your tents, with very much livestock, with silver, with gold, with brass, with iron, and with very much clothing. Divide the plunder of your enemies with your brothers. Comment: Israel devoted Jericho to destruction, and all the silver, gold, brass, and iron they devoted to Yahweh's treasury, Joshua 6:24. But they took plunder from most other places, Joshua 11:14. Joshua says the warriors have much wealth, and Joshua says, divide the plunder with your brothers. Joshua must be talking about the men from the other side of the river that didn't come over and fight. By law, there are some who aren't expected to go to war, including the young, the disabled, the Levites, and a few others, Numbers 1:3, 147, and Deuteronomy 20, verses 5 through 8. We know that a considerable number of the Reubenites and Gadites did stay home, Joshua 4:3, Numbers 121 and 125. Joshua says, give these others some of the plunder. Verse 9. The children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh returned and departed from the children of Israel out of Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan, to go to the land of Gilead, to the land of their possession, which they owned according to the commandment of Yahweh by Moses. Comment: so the warriors went home, but coming up, some of them didn't go straight home. Verse 10. When they came to the region near the Jordan, that is in the land of Canaan, The children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh built an altar there by the Jordan, a great altar to look at. Comment, the warriors from across the river stopped at the river and built an altar. With regard to the law of Moses, this seems to be outrageously illegal. There should be no sacrifices to Yahweh except at the bronze altar which sits in front of the tabernacle, Leviticus 1:3 and Deuteronomy 12:5. Already Yahweh nearly destroyed the entire nation because some of them sacrificed to Baal Peor, Numbers 25:11. Verse 11, the children of Israel heard this. Behold, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh have built an altar along the border of the land of Canaan in the region around the Jordan on the side that belongs to the children of Israel. Comment, they built it at the river on the Canaan side, which is on the west side. Verse 12, when the children of Israel heard of it, the whole congregation of the children of Israel gathered themselves together at Shiloh to go up against them to war. Comment, Moses warned Israel that Yahweh will destroy them for false worship, Leviticus 26. Israel wants to stop this before Yahweh steps in. Verse 13. The children of Israel sent to the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the half-tribe of Manasseh into the land of Gilead Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest. With him were 10 princes, 1 prince of a father's house for each of the tribes of Israel, and they were each head of their father's houses among the thousands of Israel. Comment, the West has gathered together to attack the East, but they're sending diplomats first. Verse 15, the diplomats came to the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the half-tribe of Manasseh to the land of Gilead. And they spoke with them, saying, thus says the whole congregation of Yahweh, what trespass is this that you have committed against the God of Israel, to turn away from following Yahweh, and that you have built yourselves an altar to rebel today against Yahweh? Is the iniquity of Peor too little for us, from which we have not cleansed ourselves to this day? Although there came a plague on the congregation of Yahweh, that you must turn away today from following Yahweh? Comment, the iniquity of Peor refers to some of them worshiping the god Baal Peor in the time of Moses, which provoked Yahweh to such anger that he began to destroy them. Still in verse 18, it will be, since you rebel today against Yahweh, that tomorrow he will be angry with the whole congregation of Israel. However, if the land of your possession is unclean, then pass over to the land of the possession of Yahweh, in which Yahweh's tabernacle dwells, and take possession among us. Comment, that's a generous offer. If there's something wrong with your land, we'll give you some land on our side. Still in verse 19. But don't rebel against Yahweh, nor rebel against us in building an altar other than Yahweh our God's altar. Didn't Achan the son of Zerah commit a trespass in the devoted thing, and wrath fell on all the congregation of Israel? That man didn't perish alone in his iniquity. Comment, Achan was the man who violated the ban at Jericho. He kept some spoils for himself, which resulted in the deaths of about 36 Israelite troops at Ai. Joshua 7:5. Now the Easterners give their answer, verse 21. Then the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh answered and spoke to the heads of the thousands of Israel. The mighty one, God, Yahweh, the mighty one, God, Yahweh, he knows, and Israel shall know, if it was in rebellion or if in trespass against Yahweh. Don't save us today, that we have built us an altar to turn away from following Yahweh, or if to offer burnt offering or meal offering, or if to offer sacrifices of peace offerings. Let Yahweh himself require it. Comment, may Yahweh himself punish us if we did this in rebellion. The Easterners are still explaining themselves, verse 24. If we have not out of concern done this, and for a reason, saying, in time to come your children might speak to our children, saying, what have you to do with Yahweh, the God of Israel? For Yahweh has made the Jordan a border between us and you. You children of Reuben and children of Gad, you have no portion in Yahweh. So your children might make our children cease from fearing Yahweh. Comment, the explanation is that we feel a little isolated on this side of the river. We fear that as time passes by, we might grow apart, and you Westerners will reject us from Yahweh's congregation. Still explaining, verse 26. Therefore we said, let's now prepare to build ourselves an altar, not for burnt offering nor for sacrifice, but it will be a witness between us and you and between our generations after us, that we may perform the service of Yahweh before him with our burnt offerings, with our sacrifices, and with our peace offerings, that your children may not tell our children in time to come, you have no portion in Yahweh. Therefore we said, it shall be when they tell us, or our generations this in time to come, that we shall say, behold the pattern of Yahweh's altar, which our fathers made, not for burnt offering nor for sacrifice, but it is a witness between us and you. Comment, they say, we've built a replica of the altar, but it's not for sacrifices. See here, we built it on your side of the river, not ours. It's not for us. It's a reminder to you that we are part of Israel and that you should not exclude us from coming over and worshiping at the tabernacle. The Easterners are still explaining verse 29. Far be it from us that we should rebel against Yahweh and turn away today from following Yahweh to build an altar for burnt offering, for meal offering, or for sacrifice, besides Yahweh our God's altar that is before his tabernacle. Comment, now the diplomats respond, verse 30. When Phinehas the priest and the princes of the congregation, even the heads of the thousands of Israel that were with him, heard the words that the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the children of Manasseh spoke, it pleased them well. Comment, Psalm 133 verse 1, quote, see how good and pleasant it is for brothers to live together in unity, end quote. Verse 31. Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest said to the children of Reuben, to the children of Gad, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh, today we know that Yahweh is among us, because you have not committed this trespass against Yahweh. Now you have delivered the children of Israel out of Yahweh's hand. Comment, in other words, it's a big relief to find out you haven't done anything to provoke Yahweh's wrath on us. Verse 32. Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest and the princes returned from the children of Reuben and from the children of Gad out of the land of Gilead to the land of Canaan to the children of Israel, and brought them word again. The thing pleased the children of Israel, and the children of Israel blessed God and spoke no more of going up against them to war, to destroy the land in which the children of Reuben and the children of Gad lived. Comment, the Westerners blessed God that there was no cause for alarm, no cause for war, and that the Easterners are faithful. Verse 34. The children of Reuben and the children of Gad named the altar a witness between us that Yahweh is God. Comment, the King James Version of 1 Thessalonians 5:22 says, quote, abstain from all appearance of evil, end quote. Along those lines, a U.S. Senator once told his staff, it's not enough just to do the right thing, it also has to look right. So while we're doing the right thing, we might avoid some trouble if we're mindful of how it looks. Abstain from all appearance of evil. Joshua 23 is next at landofhavilah.net. Joshua 23.